Hello again everybody, this is Gusto, and this is the second part of the comparative review between the old style and the new style Norwegian field rations. Both of these rations were made by Drytech. The previous one was made in 2007, and this one has a best buy date of 2019, so it's very fresh. This is a dinner menu consisting of lamb mulligatawny, which is a menu that I have not seen before. So I'm excited to get into this and see what the differences are between the old style and the new style. And there's a 50% chance on this one that we might get the pizza. We may be that lucky, but we'll see. But before I get into this ration, I wanted to acknowledge a viewer that sent me some fan mail. So here we go. This was sent from Animal Free MRE. You can look up his channel, Animal Free MRE. Some pretty awesome envelope work there. And he sent me some art that he hoped that I would use in my channel. And I think it's pretty awesome. Let's check this out. So check this out. Hand drawn by Animal Free MRE for my channel, and I think I will use it as part of the artwork on my YouTube channel and on Facebook. I will certainly gonna incorporate this. This is very cool. You can see the Spam can ration on the back and half the skull and half my face with the spoon. I think that's pretty cool. So Animal Free MRE, thank you very, very much for this. Very cool. So let's go look at this ration. Again, this is by Drytech and branded under Real Field Meals. There's your production date, and there's the contents. You can see lamb mulligatawny is the main. You have the cinnamon bun or the pizza. We can hope for the pizza, but you know, 50%. And then there's all the rest of the ingredients. This does have a fruit soup, which is pretty rare. So let's check that out. The package itself is similar to the old style with an easy peel opening. Say easy, but it's not being very easy this time. There you go. And we'll get all the items opened up and see what we have. So first out of the pack is the fruit soup, which is a tropical fruit soup. Have not seen one of these since the Rafco RCW, so that's pretty exciting. There is a hot cocoa mix. There's a cranberry protein bar. Here's the main item, which is freeze-dried lamb mulligatawny. And you can see per serving, per 100 grams, is 487 calories, so very calorie dense. This pack contains a multivitamin, also a disinfectant swab, a package of Colombian Coffee. There's a large energy drink pack, and this is apple flavor. And then for the moment of truth, did we get a pizza or did we get a cinnamon bun? Oh, cinnamon bun. That's okay. This will be good too. Maybe next time. And it is worth noting that this ration, in comparison to the old one, does come with a spoon. And lastly, 2 pieces of chewing gum. So the first thing that we need to do, of course, is to prepare the freeze-dried item, and this is the mulligatawny. And this package is not a whole lot different than the old style. It's just branded in the Real branding. And it has a nice tear notch and then a zip seal here and a gusseted bottom so it stands up while it's rehydrating. Those are nice touches. We'll get this open. Awesome hiss. Steve would love that. And there's the dry main item. This does have a fill line to right here. That's where you fill it up with hot water. And let it sit aside for, let's see what it says. So fill it with hot water. Sits for 8 minutes. We'll fill this with boiling water to the fill line. Right about there. I'm going to give this a quick mix all the way down into the corners to make sure that it's well rehydrated. Then I'll zip it up and set it aside. There you go. Next, since I have the hot water, I'm going to prepare the fruit soup, which calls for 200 milliliters of boiling water. Let's get that opened up. Take a look. Look, it actually has fruit in there, dried fruit. 200 milliliters of very hot water. We'll give that a stir, and we'll set it aside. This should thicken up. And I inadvertently didn't film the mixing of the cocoa beverage. You can see right there, this called for 200 milliliters of water, and it mixed up to a nice rich chocolate, has a nice dark chocolate scent to it. Next we have the energy beverage, and this has a bag that's intended to be used for mixing and storing of this beverage, and the powder comes up to about here. This calls for 300 milliliters of water. It's very nice. This does have a zipper seal to store the leftover. You can see all the way down in there, you can see the beverage powder down at the bottom. We'll add 300 milliliters of water. I'll seal this up and give it a shake. Try not to splash all over my living room. Give it a shake. Oh, and it is leaking just a little bit. Pour this into a glass. And lastly, we have the Colombian Coffee, and this is a brand that you'll recognize from previous European rations. This is a pretty typical brand of coffee that you find in those. There is no sugar packet in this, so we'll just drink it straight up. Quick stir. Set that aside. Now we got all the beverages taken care of, we'll get the rest of the meal out onto the tray. The first side item is the cinnamon bun. There you can see all the nutrition information there. Get it opened up. There you can see it's got an oxygen absorber in there. If I can get that out of there. I'll take the whole thing out first. So there's the item. It smells pretty sweet, really strong cinnamon scent to it. Next we have the Cranberry Protein bar. Just opened up. Alright. Alright, there you can see, kind of has some rice puffs, I think, and bits of cranberry. It's kind of sticky. It smells good. This does come with a multivitamin, we'll check that out. There you can see all the vitamin contents there. There you have it. And then the star of the show, the lamb mulligatawny. This has been sitting aside for really about 10 minutes. It's still nice and hot. Get it opened up. There you go. You can see a lot of rice in there. Kind of a yellow curry scented soup base, and then pieces of lamb in there. Get that on the tray. There you have it. We will wash our hands before we start with a disinfectant swab. And this is alcohol and chlorhexidine scrub, so it will clean the hands very well. Let's start out with the main item, which is the lamb mulligatawny. Let's take a look here, try to get some of the meat, a lot of the rice, and the sauce. Take a look at it up close. Really a neon yellow color. It's got a really strong curry scent. Smells just a little bit spicy, not too bad. And we'll give that a taste. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. I was expecting it to be a little bit more spicy, but it's not bad at all. It does have a strong curry flavor. It's a little bit salty. The texture of the lamb is nice. It's got a pretty good flavor, though the flavor of the lamb itself is kind of hidden by the curry, so I can't really distinguish its flavor specifically, but overall everything tastes pretty good. It's good stuff. Let's try one of the beverages, and we'll use the apple energy drink. And while we're at it, we'll take our multivitamin as well. The apple drink is very clear, just slightly yellow in color. Smells sweet. Yeah, it's kind of like a Gatorade, but it's unlike any flavor I've tried before. It is kind of a green apple flavor. Overall, pretty tasty. It does have a little bit of a hint of the electrolytes that you would expect in a sports drink or something like that. Not bad at all. We'll move on to the protein bar, and this is the Cranberry Protein bar. Again, you can see up close it's got a lot of rice puffs, pieces of cranberry, and it's pretty sticky on the surface, pretty flexible. There you go. And that's pretty tasty. It's nice and crispy. It's fairly sweet, and it has a nice flavor of cranberry to it. Tastes a lot like the dried cranberries that you'll find in some of these rations, or really you can find them at the store, but it's got a really nice flavor to it. Next, I'm going to move on to the item that I'm pretty excited about, which is the fruit soup. So here we have it. It has some dried fruit in there. It has been sitting aside for a few minutes after reconstituting in 200 milliliters of hot water. It's thickened up a little bit, but it's actually still pretty liquid. Smells sweet, and it looks like it just has kind of the consistency of a heavy syrup more than anything. Let's give it a shot. Let's get some of the dried fruit in there. Wow. Really strong, sweet flavor. More than anything, it tastes kind of like you heated up a cup of fruit cocktail or something like that. It really just tastes like fruit in a heavy syrup. But it's actually pretty good. Tastes like tropical fruit, maybe like some mango or something like that in there. It's pretty sweet, but at the same time, it's very refreshing. It's really nice fruity flavor. Yeah, I like that a lot. Next, the cinnamon bun, and there you see it. It's flat. Looks a lot like those bread products that you find in most rations. It has a cinnamon filling there. That's pretty good. It's not as sweet as I would have thought it was going to be. If memory serves, I think there was one of these in the 2013 United States MRE that was the pesto chicken, and it seemed like it was a lot sweeter to me. It's actually made by the exact same company, which is Bridgeford, which makes a lot of these shelf-stable products. It's very good though. It has a nice cinnamon flavor. It's nice and flaky. It's soft. Certainly is reasonably fresh, and be a very good dessert item here. Let's try the cocoa next. There you go. It does have a stronger cocoa scent than the typical United States cocoa beverage powder, and it looks pretty good. Let's try it. Oh yeah, really strong chocolate flavor, and it's more of a dark chocolate than the United States cocoa beverage powder. That's really good, very rich, very tasty cocoa. And we'll finish up tasting the coffee, and again, this is the Pulver Mill Colombian coffee that you find in a lot of the European rations. Smells pretty good. It's usually a fairly bold coffee. Yeah, that's pretty good. As far as the modern coffee granules that you find in the rations, this is probably one of my favorites. It has a very nice smooth flavor. It's fairly bold, but it's not bitter. That's a good cup of coffee. So really can't go wrong with that. So that is it for the modern dry tech Norwegian field ration and the lamb mulligatawny specifically. So it's good to look into both the older and the newer style of ration and see what differences there are. And really, from what I can tell, it's a matter of branding in this. The items themselves are fairly similar in consistency and quality, as well as you saw some of the real branding in the older style meal anyway, but the outer packaging has a lot more of that branding. The sports drink is very nice. It's a very good flavor, but I think I prefer the raspberry in the old one, just personally. Fruit soup is pretty cool too. That's a good item, nice dessert item. So I hope you enjoyed this review, good comparison between the old and the new. As always, thank you to the viewers and subscribers on YouTube, as well as the review community on YouTube and on MREinfo.com. I appreciate all of your support, and again, your support benefits St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, so thank you very much for that. So please stick with me. I have a whole lot of stuff to review, a whole lot of really interesting items, and if you want to find some of these meals, check the descriptions below for links to some stores that can supply you with these types of rations. This one specifically is from Drew78, so thank you very much for that. Until next time, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.